Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this third game in the group stages of the Ultimate Gaming Championship right here in Italy, and I bring you LoZ in the purple trunks. He is playing Terran right here on the Shattered Temple versus his opponent Hasu in the yellow trunks. He is playing Protoss.
And I don't think that was a result that Hasu really wanted. I don't even think, not even that he lost the game, I think it's the fact that I don't think he really wanted to play a third game, to be honest.
No.
I mean, you don't really want to be playing, in his opinion, in his mindset, is why do I need to play 3 games against an opponent that I should easily beat? I mean, it's a waste of time for him, it's a waste of energy, where he should be saving it for his last game in the group stage to confirm that he can fully advance as first in the group.
Absolutely. Unfortunately for him, it seems that LoZ is not going to have any of that nonsense. Came back with a ruthless attack. Tenacious player. We're seeing a lot of tenacious players in this tournament. I like that. I really, really do. These guys are digging in their heels. They are not just flipping over to the pros, and this makes it a very exciting tournament.
And it's actually really interesting the way that these unknown players are taking games off the professionals. And I mean by professionals as in this is basically their job to play StarCraft 2. And we have Star Eagle in Group A that's managed to overtake, overtake, who did he, sorry, I forgot the results, I haven't got them right in front of me.
He was able to take out Delphi.
That's right, he overtook Delphi in the group seedings, and it looks like he might even be able to finish second, and we're having the same kind of results in Group B, where we might have LoZ overtake Clouds, because he's already beat Cloud, he's possibly could beat Hasu, and then that's kind of a really upsetting results for players.
Yeah. I love it. As a commentator, I absolutely love it. It's absolutely fantastic to see these players who are not so well known actually advancing well in this tournament, competing, showing us new strategies, showing us things that we didn't expect, and of course dramatic upsets. And I love me some drama.
Drama, drama, drama.
Oh yeah.
All right, so pretty much standard so far. You know, both players using the standard opening within StarCraft 2. You don't really see any deviations.
Not much.
Until around, the 3-4 minute mark is when the first kind of ones come in, unless anything dramatic is going to start earlier on. And both players will have to see if he decides to go for that kind of containment again. And it's not really too much difference in terms of rush distances compared to the last map. Even though it's cross positions, natural to natural is pretty much the same in Shakir's style, cross positions also.
Oh, yeah.
So
absolutely. It is a little bit of an upset to see Hasu go down that second game, and it was a bit of a comedy of errors there from Hasu. Actually, he made mistake after mistake after mistake, which led him to that point. And then, still though, he probably could have pulled it back if not for that final blunder.
Yeah, I mean, when you're under a lot of pressure like that with the bunkers, the bottom of your ramp, you just really, honestly have to just sit there and take the pressure. You might go red face, that's fine, go red face, but you have to just sit there and accept that you can't move in until you actually have the right amount of units. And he kept going in with little forces, trying to pick off little forces of LoZ, and that's just not the way to use it.
You gave your Terran opponent the advantage of efficiency, which is never what you want. As the Protoss player, you've always got to be the most efficient you can possibly be. And you see players like Soke do that in an unbelievable way. He's probably the most efficient Protoss player. He can kill so many units for so little loss. And in this case, Hasu doing nothing of the sort. I don't know, maybe I'm kind of surprised that Hasu didn't sort of deviate a little bit and maybe try and throw something a little bit unusual there, either go for Dark Templar or throw some drops as well, bypass the line entirely. But of course, he was under so much pressure, he couldn't really build anything in terms of tech.
Yeah, and I think he's just going to kind of play the same. I think that he kind of realized his mistake, and you could even see he realized it in the first game by when he actually did sit there and wait until he could push out, and he is going to do that and just go around and be like, all right, I know what I did wrong, I'm just going to play the same, not make that same mistake. And that's the thing with Protoss players, because they are actually, more recently, going for these faster expansions, all because of the stim timing attack that used to be used so much. It's just not viable anymore. You don't really have that pressure. You can still have a lot of difficulty versus fast marauders, but with force fields, you should be able to defend against it. All you need to do, warp in an extra sentry, and you should be okay.
Yep. And LoZ is not able to reach that fast expansion, but he did see it, more to the point. He can't even get into the middle line, but yeah, the Hellion served his purpose. He knows what's exactly happening. And as you said before, we are seeing a similar build to gateway into robotics right here. And LoZ needs to get the hell out of there quite rapidly, but we're looking once again, okay, we are not looking for Banshee at all. We have a Raven on the way out.
Yeah, point defense drone for sure is going to be pulled out here, and we might be seeing kind of a similar style like we saw in the previous game with this little containment. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Siege Tank being built again. Yeah, and Siege Mode going to follow that up shortly. And I think we're just going to see the same kind of containment, but he's going to be using the Raven for point defense drone just against the Stalker hit. So it's going to be a little bit more effective. And he actually got the expansion a little bit sooner. But the kind of difference between the previous game is the attack's going to come a little bit later because he decided to get in the command center earlier and you know, put 1 and 1 together, gets 2. So it's quite easy to see that. And then if you just put 1 and 1 and 1 together, you get 3, and you realize that Hasu is just going to have a lot more units there.
I'm extremely impressed with your mathematical prowess, Apollo. It is literally flooring me right now.
You know, 1 1 1 1 1
1 1 1 equals
1 1 1.
Thanks.
Equals
1 1 1 equals 1 1 1. Thank you, Apollo.
Wait.
You got it?
3.
You got it?
Yeah, 3.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And this is why we bring him on as the analyst, folks. He is the man with the plan. And I am interested to see what this Raven does, because it's honestly perhaps not what his opponent's really expecting. It's an interesting method, although there are, well, actually, no, he's got 5 Stalkers on the field, so this is going to be quite critical.
Yeah, I don't know when this push is going to come, though. Actually, I can't see anything that's telling me he's going to go for attack. Maybe he'll wait for 2 tanks, possibly 3, or he might just play defensive. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what he's doing because there's no clear indicators that he wants to move out at the moment. And Hasu is going to move in with the Observer and see everything. He's even going to see the transfer here down.
Oh, yes.
And pretty much knows exactly what's going on. And I think Hasu is just going to play pretty safe and just go for a Colossus. And we do have the Robotics Bay actually going down. And at the same time, LoZ, the siding, actually, I don't think the Observer saw that yet. So this is going to be a little bit of a surprise for Hasu.
It's a wonderful present. However, I don't know. Hasu actually, I think, did see it. He must have. He's mobilizing Stalkers in that region. He's defending that main. I don't think there's any chance of that drop doing any real damage. And we are also seeing Robotics Bay on the way up for Hasu. Hasu is not really one for building a lot of Colossi, honestly. It's not really his style, but he kind of has to, I think, in this situation.
Yeah, marine-heavy compositions, you have to get the Colossus or at least try to go for the Storms. And Colossus combined with 4 fields, great combination. Actually, this drop is...
not going to do anything. Oh, he loses the Medivac as well. That is not good.
No, this is the time where Hasu is like, right, cool, gonna take 3rd, because that's the perfect thing to do. You don't be like, all right, cool, I just killed his army, well, let's go kill his army. The best thing to do is just expand.
Yeah, just expand.
I mean, he's already knocked down the rocks, it's no problem. And if he does expand, and you're like, oh, well, I don't know if I should expand because my opponent couldn't attack it. Well, no, he just lost the Medivac full of Marines.
Yes, you are getting very, very animated about this, and I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Excellent stuff. Would you want to attack a Terran player in this current situation? No. No, you would not. You would not want to charge in there. That's just ridiculous. Look at that. Siege tanks, Marines, Marauders. No, absolutely not. Not a good idea. And Hasu is completely aware of that. He's playing it nice and cool. I have an income comparison right now. Pretty much equal, although once he takes this 3rd base, he'll be streaming ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing about Hasu. He's not that greedy. He doesn't try to get a 3rd base super fast. You know, he'll wait a little bit and be like, all right, I guess it's time to get it now. And, you know, I mean, I said he was going to take a 3rd, you know, 1 minute ago. And he could have done that now, but he's playing a little bit safer and puts it down 1 minute later. And it's not really a big problem. And he's not cutting corners. So he's playing very safe. Yep,
very efficiently. Always the Protoss way as far as I'm concerned. Don't get too impetuous, especially not against the Terran. Very bad idea, unless you really like being shelled. You know, I suppose some people might, but they, in that case, would also like losing. And with LoZ, with 5 siege tanks now deployed, as well as quite a large number of Marines, I do notice that LoZ really doesn't seem to care about upgrades all that much.
Yeah, I mean, he's got this engineering bay, which is kind of funny, but he doesn't have any turrets or any upgrades. Well, actually, now, as we say that, he does put the +1 down.
It's typical. He did that on purpose just to spite you. You can tell that for a fact. And forward.
Forward pylon too, so could be seeing a little bit of forward pressure, especially with this pylon here, and the Observer can warp in units up there if need be. And especially with the Colossus can just pop around. He's got to be careful not to lose any units though. This supply depot will go down, and it's actually forcing LoZ into a horrible position.
Yeah, I would not want to be where he is right now, and deploying those siege tanks. Hasu's drawing him back right now by the looks of it. 2 split forces. Here comes the warp, and I think this is going to be a pincer approach. It's going to be, here comes the deployment right here. The point defense drone is down, however, and Hasu can't go in there. So actually, that turned out to be pretty good for LoZ.
Yeah, that did. I mean, Hasu keeps trying to get into these, you know, cute pincer positions, but he's not really getting the timing done quickly because one army goes in first before the second one, and he doesn't really get the most efficient damage output from his units. And LoZ, combined with the tanks, a lot of heavy fire being done, and now Hasu has to back off. He didn't really have enough Colossus either, if you think about it. He only had 1 there, he had 1 idle at his natural. And now he's getting a bit of a bigger count number. Blink's on its way, +1 attack, not too far away from finishing. But again, the same thing for LoZ, +1 attack, not too far away from finishing either. The only significant, advantage Hasu has is that the third base up and running compared to LoZ, who doesn't. Which means the longer this game goes on, the better it's going to be for Hasu.
Yep, and LoZ has absolutely no intention of allowing that to happen, however. There's the forward scan, looking for deployment, looking once again for that containment. It's going to be a little bit tricky with those Colossi on the field, I have to say. Here's the deployment. Here it comes. We're looking for yet another point defense drone deployment. It's very, very effective bringing this Raven right here, but here's the split. That is a critical split right there. And most of the firepower of LoZ at the back is not able to be brought down on it. Colossi, however, falling apart. I don't think actually Hasu has the force right here, and that point defense drone has done so much to neutralize most of that Stalker firepower. A lot of the siege tanks taken out right here, though. Bear that in mind. Very heavily injured Colossi. LoZ does not want to push right now.
No, I mean, the attack didn't work. It was almost worked, but
very
a few
close.
Too many Colossus there did manage to clean it up. And now this is where the advantage flies in Hasub's favor. Just because he has this third up, LoZ doesn't. And LoZ lost all the siege tanks. Lost. I was looking on my screen. I was like, oh, I hear something. No.
No.
But I mean,
he's attacking the rocks, ladies and gentlemen, right here. The rocks at 35% health. The rocks are not resisting this particular fight on red, and down they go. And that is a victory right there for LoZ against that pile of rubble.
And DT's in the main, or will be DT's in the main.
That is going to suck.
After these Zealots, it's going to be a wave of DTs for sure. And there's no turrets, no nothing.
Yes, that is not what you want at all. Uh-oh. They are terrifying, ladies and gentlemen. They are terrifying. And I don't see a Raven or any missile turrets. Oh, God. LoZ, why? Mule's getting sliced apart. And middle line right there. He gets a scan. But unfortunately, there is a second Dart Templar in an area you really don't want a Dart Templar to be. Yeah. Actually, I'm trying to think of as a Terran player, where would you want a Dart Templar to be? The other side of the map, I think.
Yeah, underneath the Raven.
Yeah, exactly, underneath the Raven. Optimal position for a Dark Templar for the Terran, and LoZ is able to deal with that. He does take some economic damage. You wouldn't think that that's too much. Bear in mind, he's still a base behind, so actually any economic damage done is significant.
Yeah, and it might even force him to kind of go for a push and be like, oh, I'm kind of behind, I need to do something, and I'm not sure that the best thing is. And I love the way that Hasu actually has DTs within his army. Very, very smart.
He does this all the time. He's very good at it. However, LoZ is sensible enough to get a Raven. Now, here's what happens. He will snipe the Raven off, I would imagine. This is what he likes to do. He's got a good force in right here, breaks through the tank line, and LoZ forced away immediately. Blink Stalkers, it turns into a rout immediately.
Yeah,
Messy.
And it's pushed back, and Hasu could even go ahead and take the gold. A little Marine here did deny the Nexus that tried to go up there. Now he will go up there, most definitely. And here we're seeing, one base of LoZ compared to pretty much 3-4 bases almost. So not looking too good for him. But
not ideal, certainly. If we have a look at the army count right here, it's in favor of Hasu, let's be honest, not by a huge amount, but good enough. Economically, you can clearly see that there's a lot of mess going on, and Hasu now pushing his way into the base. A nice blink through, takes out one Viking, looks for the second. That ain't landing, that ain't happening, I'm sorry. Here comes some major harassment, and actually LoZ's army is significantly immobile right now. Three Vikings, ladies and gentlemen, with a coupon or perhaps 2 Happy Meals, whatever the case. LoZ driven all the way back, and honestly, Hasu lost so little there for so much, and those Colossi now, there's no threat to them. There are no Vikings in the air at all. Here's the blink once again, turns the fight into a rout, and LoZ losing ground rapidly.
Well, Hasu has no manners, as he did not learn that you cannot play with your food. You should be ending this game, and he is definitely toying around with LoZ. I mean, Blink stalking up and down. He knows he's going to win, and he doesn't really need to do anything. He has this goal base up and running. And still, we don't see a command center put down for LoZ. He's just waiting far too long.
Yeah, he's getting drained. He is being bled dry by Hasu. Hasu can just keep throwing units at him, and there's not a lot he can really do there. No more Ravens on the field, which means the Dark Templar are going to be even more effective. I like what he does with DTs. I really, really do. Hasu is one of the only players I've seen in Europe that actually does that with Dark Templar. It's extremely effective. It's very, very good. I would be very surprised not to see more of that play after this tournament, as people just see how really great that mix is.
And long-distance minings from LoZ for the time being on this gold base will start to, get a little bit of extra income, but, that's not really efficient enough. And we do have +3 upgrade for the
God.
Stalker army in there. That's going to be starting halfway through. Not good at all.
You
Storm being done too.
don't want that. You really don't. Not as a Terran player, or as indeed anybody. You don't want to go up against that kind of firepower, but you're going to be. We've only got one upgrades on LoZ's forces right now. One in armor, one in weapons on his infantry only. Nothing on his siege tanks at all. To be fair, he does only have one siege tank on the field anyway, so it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Vikings coming on the field again, but it's still lacking that ability to detect, relying on scans and nothing else.
Yeah, and, does he even have enough energy for him? I mean, he's lost the, well, he hasn't lost it, but he's lifted up the command center. He is saving a little bit of energy, but at this kind of moment in the game when you're behind, you need every inch of energy on mules. There's no question about it. You do not want to be using them for scans and DTs, and that's something that Hasu should put into consideration, actually, and start moving around with DTs. He knows his opponent doesn't have a Raven. The only form of it is, you know, scans, and he needs mules, not scans.
So Commissar Hasu just summarily executed 2 zealots in his force there. He didn't like him.
Really?
No, he didn't want him. He didn't want him there. I think he did it so that he could get some supply in order to break out some more Templar, which makes perfect sense. Yeah. That's what happens to the incompetence in Hasu's army, folks. That is what will happen to you. Beware if you decide to be recruited by them. 23 army supply ahead for Hasu. Here comes the harassment. What he'll look to do, I'd imagine, is to draw his opponent out of position so he can come in with the hammer blow that is that lot. That is nasty. Takes a starport for free.
Starport barracks, easy.
Yeah, why not?
Easy game for Hasu this one. And nice storm on the Vikings. Not doing that much damage, really.
Yeah, LoZ with quick response to that one. It looks for some more damage with the Blink Stalkers. He doesn't want to be drawn into this firing line, but there's actually such a lack of siege tanks right now. Looks like LoZ is just going to roll out, and he might end up being intercepted by Hasu, which is not really what you want at all. No, no, no. He's got no siege tank deployment. Hasu's not willing to really go in there as of yet, but he will very, very soon. And here comes the engagement that could end it all. We got Dark Templar, we got Storms, we got everything you could possibly imagine right here in this fight. Oh, wow, it's devastating. So many DTs in that line right here. Stalker's holding the line. LoZ actually pushing forward right now. Hasu blinks them away. The DTs are clearing up. LoZ loses that one. GG, ladies and gentlemen. Well played there by Hasu, and he takes the series 2-1.